Christ alone saves. Christ alone. The question then comes, what did he do? Or who is he to make a difference? Is he just a good moral teacher? Or has he done something that no one else in history has ever done? Well, we're under the biblical conviction. He is the unique God-man that did something that no one could or has ever done but him. Listen to Romans 3 when he's telling us how we can be right with God. And I'll pick up verse 25. God presented Christ as a sacrifice of atonement. King James translated this word propitiation, and we'll come back to it. They translated in the NIV as a sacrifice of atonement through the shedding of his blood to be received by faith. He did this to demonstrate his righteousness because in his forbearance he had left the sins committed beforehand unpunished. He did it to demonstrate his righteousness at the present time so as to be just and the one who justifies those who have faith in Jesus. What has Jesus done? Jesus came, and this technical word, propitiation, or a sacrifice of atonement, was a term used of appeasing the gods so that they would not be angry. And this shows the personal aspect of the death of Christ. On the cross, he offered himself to the outraged God who we sinned against, that we earned his wrath, his judgment. Christ's death satisfied God the Father about every sin you will ever commit. The payment fully satisfied God so that it's paid for. Remarkable truth. And he said he did this to demonstrate his righteousness. And he goes on to say something remarkable. God forbear hundreds, even thousands of years from Adam, the flood, to Israel, all the Old Testament, all the sins he kept forbearing, because the blood of animals never did pay the debt. It just bought time. But when Christ came, he picked up as like a balloon payment all the sins of the race and paid for them at the cross. And at that time, guess what it did? It declared God was just to keep overlooking sin and delaying the payment. He now has paid it, and he says he has given God the ability to save a sinner, forgive him of his sins, and remain just. Here's the dilemma God faced. If I said the soul that sins, it shall surely die, and you sin, and then I say, oh, by the way, I want to give you eternal life. Well, you just lied to me. You said, if I sin, I die. Now you're saying, if I believe, I get eternal life. I'm a sinner. I'm wanting to believe. Which is which? I found through my Son, I could demand the penalty, but my Son bore your penalty. My Son bore the death penalty in your place. Now I'm free to give you something you never earned, and I maintain my own character. I haven't compromised God. I'm still holy. I'm still righteous. I'm so righteous, I demanded the death of my own Son. So God now is free to forgive the worst of sinners because he's been satisfied. The payment is totally sufficient to pay for 1,000,000 worlds. So Christ and Christ alone is our only means of heaven because he satisfied God's wrath, bought us out of the marketplace, and has freely shown the grace of God to us. Trust Christ. He alone is all you need to go to heaven.